Welcome to our YouTube channel, and today, just like any other days in the past, we are going to learn about a very important topic. And today's topic is about the CV, which stands for the curriculum vitae, a Latin phrase meaning course of life, and is a comprehensive document that outlines an individual's professional and academic history, also skills and accomplishments. So today we are going to learn on how do you create a CV, and not just a CV, but a CV that meets the ATS standards. Remember, the ATS is a software that is used to filter out different job applicants who meet the criteria as announced in the job application. So today we are going to learn about how you can use the internet to create a very good, a quality curriculum vitae. So what is it? A CV is a detailed document that provides a comprehensive overview of your qualifications, that's number one, experience, number two, achievements, number three, and often used in academic and research settings, and also for high level professional positions. Sometimes someone can ask you what's the difference between a CV and a resume. So let's look at those differences. So while both CVs and resumes are used to showcase your qualifications, a CV is typically longer and more detailed, including information like publications, research experience, teaching experience, and awards. The purpose of a CV is used for various purposes, including job applications, academic and research positions, grant and fellowship applications, and professional networking. What content does a CV entail? So typically it includes sections for contact information, academic history, professional experience, skills, publications, presentations, awards, honors, grants, and any other relevant information. So, the most common sections for a CV include the contact information that has to appear at the top. Remember, in your one page document, you have different segments subdivided by just a line, and on the topmost part should start with your contact information. That is your names, official name, address, phone number, and email, so that the company can be able to reach out to you after the interview. Also, below it you have the academic history, whereby you start with the most recent qualification. For instance, for someone who has an undergraduate degree, he can start with the degree and then the other diploma or high school certificate. Also followed by professional experience, whereby you also write in that order, starting with the most recent job that you hold. So you put your work history, you start with the title, you mention the responsibility in bulleting, and also the accomplishments that you managed to accomplish briefly in bulleting, maybe 5 bulleting, 3 to 5. After that, it is followed by the skills. List both hard and soft skills. Remember, we have technical skills, those that are aligned to your career, and then you have soft skills, those that are not aligned to your career but very essential for you to be able to communicate effectively to clients and also partners. You also have publication and presentation. This is where you can list any publication works or presentation. For instance, you can paste a link to your social media, or also you can paste a link to your e-portfolio or even Google Drive, where someone can be able to read publications about you. Then we have the awards and honors, where you can list any awards or honors received. Then you also have the grants and scholarship, thereby you can be able to list any grants or scholarships received. So as you can see, a CV is very much detailed. But in respect to that, we have the resume, which is very light, and resume usually are for specific job. When you are applying for a specific job, that's when you go for a resume. But for a CV, Mostly it's for jobs that deal with the research, lecturing, tutoring, and also when you want to apply for a grant, if you are leading an NGO, that's when you need to draft a CV. So we are going to look at sites that can enable us to draft very quality CVs, such as these ones. These are examples of CVs. So we are going to look at CVs. We are going to look at what are the common mistakes to avoid on your CV. Because remember, it is a software that is used to actually filter out the right job applicants. So if it is a software, it means there are things that will disqualify you. So we are going to look at what exactly is this you should be able to avoid from putting on your CV. So we are going to use ChatGPT, and most people don't know how to use ChatGPT, but today you are going to learn on many other important sections of the ChatGPT. Remember, ChatGPT as an artificial intelligence software, it also incorporates many other softwares. So we are going to look at how can we access specifically a software within ChatGPT that can help us come up with quality and professional CVs. So here is ChatGPT. If you don't have an account, make sure you create an account. You'll be able to see your icon, meaning you've already logged in. So the next thing I'll do, I'll not type here in this search area. I'll just click on explore GPTs. So we are going to look at the other GPTs. Okay, so we are going to check on an ATS curriculum vitae. So we are going to scroll down and be able to see many apps that are available here. As you can see, there are different types of apps that you can use to design your work, including Canva. We have image generator, we have video AI, we have Scholar GPT, we have Write for Me, tailored for engaging content with a focus on quality, relevance, and precise word count. There is also a logo creator, can help you design a logo. Website generator, you can be able to design websites. But we are going directly to CV. So I'll scroll down until we get there. So we have CV writer here. It's under writing. Under the writing section, we have CV writer. So I'll click at CV writer. So under CV writer, I'm going to click start. So first and foremost, we are going to ask a prompt question. What is a CV that meets the ATS standard? So let's look at that answer. What is a CV that meets an ATS standard? So an ATS compliant CV, ATS standing for Applicant Tracking System, a compliant curriculum vitae, is a CV that is optimized to easily read, correctly passed by ATS software, and used by employers to screen job applications. Here is how it means and how to ensure the CV meets that standard. So here we are going to look at what it means and how you can make your CV meet these criteria. So the key features on an ATS compliance standard include simple formatting. You use a standard font like Arial, Calibri, and Times New Roman. You should avoid graphics such as pictures and icons. You should avoid tables. You should avoid a text box. You should avoid columns. You should avoid header and footer. You should use consistent formatting for headings and bullet points. Use of keywords. Keywords are searchable and trackable words. Remember, in this job application, in the newspaper or online, there are some requirements that were needed from the company, from the new applicant by the company. The company demanded you to have some specific skills, technical and soft. So these are called the keywords. So make sure you are able to understand and tailor your CV with the keywords from the job description, e.g., there is skills, there is qualifications, there is software tools, job titles. Make sure in your CV you've customized it to fit exactly those key words that have been mentioned. Also include both acronyms and full names, e.g. SEO and search engine optimization. So don't go to the CV and then you write just SEO. No, make sure you open up on the meaning of that acronym so that it is a full understandable sentence. There is also the logical structure. You should use the traditional section headings, whereby you start with the contact information on the upper part, followed by professional summary, followed by work experience, followed by education, followed by skills, then lastly followed by certifications. You should be able to list work experience in a reverse chronological order. Also, you should have a standard file format. Save and submit in docx or PDF. PDF is only if you are sure it is an ATS readable. That's when you save in PDF. Otherwise, usually save in docx. But if you are sending your CV to someone you suspect might interfere with your work, it's better you send in PDF. Then also avoid formats like JPEG, PNG or complex PDFs with image-based text. So make sure you avoid having an image on your document. Then you should be able to use plain, clear language. Avoid abbreviations that are not only understood, that are not understood. Also use action verbs and concise statements. No fancy design elements. ATS cannot read icons. It cannot read logos. It cannot read charts or graphs. It cannot read colored or background text. It is unusual fonts or symbols. So what do you avoid on this CV? Number one, avoid tables and columns, because ATS may read the content out of order. It may not be able to interpret the alignment. Images and logos, avoid that because it doesn't recognize and it may block other content. Also avoid non-standard headings because the software might skip over important sections. Avoid headers and footers, often not read by all ATS. Also avoid complex PDFs when you're saving your work because it might be scanned as an image. What is an example of an ATS friendly work experience section? If you are going to write your CV and you want to write about work experience, be sure to note about the tense. Remember, work experience was in the past, meaning you have to write in the past tense. So, in the past tense, what did you do as work experience? At first, we have the role, marketing specialist, and the company and location. From this duration, January 2021 to March 2024. And what were you able to accomplish? I developed and executed digital marketing campaigns such as Google Ads, SEO, that increased traffic by 35%. I managed content strategy, resulting in a 20% improvement in user management. I utilized analytic tools such as Google Analytics, SEM Rush to optimize performance. Those are an accomplishments that you are able to do. So, having looked at those brief guidelines for the ATS CV, we are going to generate and assume we are going to generate just a CV to be able to see how it appears like. So I'll click there and say, kindly assuming someone as a nurse, draft for me an example of a quality ATS CV for that matter. So we are going to look at an example of an ATS CV for someone who is a nurse. So here is an ATS compliant for a nurse, CV for a nurse, clear, with keyword optimized, and suitable for online job applications. So if you look at this CV, you can see the first part is details about this applicant. Jen Smith, registered nurse, Chicago, the email, phone number, and LinkedIn. Very simple. Then there is a separation, which is a line. After that, we have the professional summary, whereby in this professional summary we can see it's dedicated and compassionate registered nurse with over 5 years of experience providing high quality patient care in hospital and clinical settings. So she's writing in a present tense. Skill in acute care, patient assessment, medication administration, and EHR documentation. Recognized for strong communication, teamwork, and patients advocacy. Proven ability to remain calm under pressure and provide excellent care in high stress environments. So what's the professional summary? You can see the professional summary, the tense used here is present because it's speaking about who this individual is. After that, there is licenses and certification. Very simple. You can see using bold, all licenses and certifications have been mentioned. Registered nurse, state, that's a location where the license was obtained, and license number. Very simple. Core skills, this one now you work with the keywords. If you look at the job that was being advertised, you might realize these were the keywords that were mentioned. Patient assessment and monitoring might have been mentioned. Medication administration, electronic health records, maybe record keeping was the one that was mentioned. Wound care and IV therapy, emergency response, care planning and coordination. Maybe in the job application it was mentioned as being able to coordinate and offer care planning. Okay, so those are core skills. Then followed by professional experience, whereby started with the present role, where she's working registered nurse at this hospital in this location, the period up to present right now. What does she do? Delivered nursing, so she's written in a past tense in the professional experience. Delivered nursing care to patients. Remember, all this is written as an objective, a milestone accomplished in these different institutions. Delivered nursing care to patients in 40-bed medical surgical unit with a 6:1 nurse to patient ratio. Participated in interdisciplinary team rounds to coordinate patients' care plans and discharge planning. And then another company, you can see it was before this most previous, mentioned also the same order, the role, the hospital name or institution, and then the location followed by the dates. And then in bulletin form mentioned what she managed to achieve. For instance, provided outpatient care including triage wound care, immunization and chronic disease management. Educated patients and families on disease prevention, medication adherence and lifestyle changes. Then education, starting with the most recent, mentioned where she went to school. After that, there's professional affiliations, the professional bodies she is part of, registered, or that represent her career and profession. So this is the order of designing an ATS compliant CV. It's as simple as this, but very essential because it's a software that is able to detect that this applicant actually is competent based on how this applicant has managed to capture the keywords. I'm going to end this video right there, but I hope that you've learned something and you can practice on it. Make sure you keep checking on our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, and also share to your friends so that it can reach as many people as possible. Let us hear in the feedback comment section what you'd like as a suggestion for the next video. Otherwise, thank you for your time and I wish you all the best.